Hello, hello, hello. So, I already see you guys in the comments. I see Crystal and M. I'm going to put you up first since we got that nice super chat in there. Hope everybody's having a great day. Deborah, I see you in there too. Thank you so much. And Prima, you're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Amanda. And TD, I feel like I've neglected you text wise. I need to text you more. So I say we jump right in. Let's get a little crazy on this. So a couple of things. Is this scrolling my comments on here? I'm just going to do a test real quick. Just want to see first. I'm going to see if I'm scrolling in real time. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm fueling up with this calorie bomb. I hope the hutches don't come on because Paul will be like, what are you doing drinking that calorie bomb? So I have a start date for the next section of Tarot 101. I told everybody if you took my class before, you can still come to the second version of it. It'll be a second incarnation. It'll be a little bit different. I have an afterpay option. So we're going to do the class all in one payment, or you can do afterpay. You can do 4 separate payments. So my past students are all really great. Some of them are in the chats right now. You can out yourself. But this section is going to be 12 weeks long. It's going to be every week. Every Thursday, 7 o'clock East Coast time. If I get interest from people that are in the UK, I will find another time for them that will work better. So if you're in the UK and you do want to take my class, let me know. And I will schedule a second section of it. But right now I only have the one section Thursday at 7 o'clock because that works with everybody else's schedule in my house. So let's jump right in. So Crystal, I see you here. I'm going to do what we're sticking to past life readings today, but Crystal, I'll throw you a couple cards. Reconnecting. Let's see. Do I see you reconnecting? Start there. Oh, and I didn't pull up the card view. Let me pull up the card view, guys. So we'll do that. So reconnecting, I still see there's complications. And what does he think of you? So reconnecting, I think he is still trying to sort out his thoughts and his feelings about everything. As far as what month, I'm not getting much on the month, but I think that you shouldn't be getting your hopes up. Kind of let this lie. This card tells me that what he's thinking about is that you are likely not the one. So that is, he's looking for the one, and right now you're not fitting the bill for him. So sometimes we just don't mesh on those levels. Sometimes you meet somebody and you connect and then you reconnect a whole long time later. Sometimes it's a happy ending. Sometimes it's not. Hey, Mel, I just mentioned you guys because I have this Starbucks calorie bomb. And I said, I hope that Hutch doesn't come on and see me drinking this while I'm doing Optimum. But I do have to tell you guys, I'm doing the Fitness Hutch's Optimum program. And so there's a lot of goal setting. So I did a goal set for the week. And I'm killing it so far. I'm doing great. I'm hitting all of my goals. I have a little sticker chart for myself. I'm like a 5-year-old over here, but really does make sense. I've gotten in just the one workout this week so far. I've got to get in a workout tomorrow, but we had a window replaced today, so that was exciting. Greg Toberfest got a little wild and a window got broken. Hutch is here. I'm still in my calorie count though. I'm still under 1,000 calories right now. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, I am here. So, Crystal, I wouldn't keep yourself happy and keep looking around. So now I don't know if M is still here. I know she was running out. So I'm going to do her past life reading, and we can see what's coming up with that. So those of you that are just joining in, if you weren't a part of this the last time, I do live readings, live tarot and Lenormand, but we kind of started doing past life readings on here, and I do them professionally, but I wasn't doing them really online very much, and this is like a really fun feature for everybody. So let's Hutch said I had more excuses than a pregnant nun. I'm in my calorie count. I know it's oat milk. It's not whole milk or anything like that. I did get oat milk in it. It's got like 57 grams of sugar. So all right, let's do M's past life. So basically what we do is we just look at a past life that's affecting you, or you can ask specifically. You can say, I have a tempestuous relationship with my brother. What's going on with that? Why don't we get along? We can kind of focus on that. So M just said she would love a past life reading. So we'll just say, what's the dealio? What's the most impactful past life she has? And this is a combination of the cards and intuition. I read past lives very easily. They come right out for me. So, the story just kind of unfolds. But this cool deck, which is in the description of the video, you can get this and just kind of have some fun with it. So spouse, love life, wisdom, Atlantis, and trees. So let's see what we get from that. We're just gonna get a sense of this. So M, when you watch this on the replay, M, this is definitely a fruitful, pleasant relationship that you've had. So, and that was one of the things that I was thinking about when I set up this live. I don't want people to think, like every lifetime is going to be tragic and crazy. And, sometimes we have lifetimes that are very sweet and that affect us in a very, very good way. And the sense that I'm getting intuitively from this is that M's lifetime that is most, impacting holistically on her whole lifetime this time, it is this particular one. Is it Atlantis? I'm not getting the sense that it's Atlantis, but I'm getting that it is an ancient culture. Those of you that follow me do know that I ascribe to Graham Hancock, and I believe that we have had significantly technologically advanced cultures prior to the ones that we know about. You can watch Göbekli Tepe, the Y files, and you get kind of a snapshot picture of what Graham Hancock is really trying to uncover, the significant cultures and civilizations that we had that may have been wiped out by a cataclysm. We have no information from them. So this is a very ancient lifetime, not one that is in recordable history. So we're going to pull a few more cards here, and we're going to use the Star Tarot. Sue, I see you there. I see you there, Susie Q. This is that Star Tarot deck I was discussing with you. So her spouse, I think your spouse in the past lifetime is your spouse in this lifetime. Smooth sailing. The last lifetime seemed to be much more. I don't want to say that this lifetime is complicated, but very effortless. The last one was a very effortless, but I do think that it was an arranged marriage. I think this was a marriage of two families that he was either the eldest or the second eldest, and the first Elvis had died. Not Elvis, eldest. He was going to be the torchbearer for the family. He was going to be the patriarch eventually, but he wasn't supposed to be. I think there was one that was before him, kind of like the Henry VIII thing, where Henry VIII, his brother was supposed to be king, and then he passed away, and Henry VIII stepped in. And you were promised to both. It was, but you were children when this happened. You were children when the other one passed away. Oh, this is good frappuccino. So the arrangement, there were a lot of concerns about being like kind of passed on to the brother. It was, a question of whether that was an appropriate move to make. For you personally, it wasn't your family. It was you personally questioning that as a child. You're very astute as a child. But it turned out to be a great thing. This turned out to be a very good union. You were very happy together, but there were no children. There were no children that resulted from this union. Now, was that because just of fertility issues? I think it just was fertility issues. Like it just didn't happen. And I do think that maybe there was some kind of discussion about him finding a maiden, like a handmaiden, I hate to say that would have stepped in and provided a child for you. Not in secret, like on the up and up, like, hey, I can go with Sally, the housemaid, and we can get a child that way. And you were very opposed to that idea. It didn't seem fair. You didn't think you would be able to love that child, and secretly you were very concerned that he would move that other woman into into your place. So but this lifetime, so the surety of that, why does this lifetime most affect? Now, I think you do have children. I think you do. I'm pretty sure you do. So I think we got kids this time. So what is the lesson? There we go. The lesson is that we are in control of our destiny, that we are in control of the lives that we plan when we get to the interim, and when we have that meeting with our spirit guides, and they help us decide what we're going to do in the next lifetime. So this is proof for you that we can make those decisions on the other side. We forget them, but we can still execute them on the other side. So you want to make sure that you meditate and get yourself into spirit state before you start kind of diving into this. So, Em, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get to see it. First one up, first one in. So that's good. Let's put this guy on the side. We're going to be flipping this selenite all over the place today. Let me throw some magical rocks on there. So I hope Em enjoys that. And past life reading. I lived in colonial times in Pennsylvania. Well, Deb, let's see if we can get a little bit more on that. So let's do a little storytelling. So if I remember correctly, the husband contracted something and was sick. We'll just call him husband. And then there was a suitor that was well placed in the community that wanted your hand, but you weren't in love with him, and you were opposed to engaging in that relationship because you felt a loyalty to the marriage. I think that's what I remember correctly. And that the townspeople were like, "Oh, what's up with her? Like, why isn't she jumping on this?" and that's not to say that the collective morality of your village or your hamlet was off center, but it was the thinking of the time that it would be very difficult for you to have a life on your own as a single woman. And I don't think I saw children. I don't think there were any children. So let's see, what was the rest of Colonial Deborah's story? Let's see what the rest of that was. I'm going to have to develop my own past life deck. I'm not loving this one. So, all right. So here we go. A little storytelling. You ready? So the moon. So with the moon, what we get here is this is being secretive, hiding out, putting things behind the scenes, not letting everybody see what's going on, and making plans for your future. So very quietly, you're making plans. Intuitively, you absolutely were a very bright woman, very capable woman. And you weren't like a ginormous, like sturdy, hardy Pennsylvania Dutch kind of woman. You were just a regular build, like 5'5", maybe 125, 135 pounds. Strong blonde hair. You had very strong blonde hair. Very straight, but like almost like a dishwater blonde, like a very, it's a natural blonde, obviously. But you favored the color blue, and your eyes, I think, are like a hazel. I think they're like an unusual light color, not green, not blue. They're an unusual light color. You're very, very soft spoken. And that is why everyone was concerned about you, because you were so soft spoken. There's that moon card in reverse, Page of Swords. So the underestimation of your capabilities is really what was alarming the whole village. That's why they were so concerned about you being on your own. Like, she'll never be able to take care of all those cattle by herself. She'll never be able to go to the smithy alone. So, that those things you revealed eventually with a sharp tongue, because it's almost like you came out of you're like a bullet out of a gun. Like, everyone was kind of gossiping and talking about, and that, like, they didn't consider it gossip because they were looking out for Colonial Debbie. But when you finally did confront people on it, you had a very sharp tongue, and it was very off-putting to them because it was colonial times, and they kind of took a step back when women would get mouthy. But you really put them in your place. But you were well read. You could read. You were a reader, and you were fairly intelligent. Your husband was not an academic or an intellectual, but he was very bright as well. So, this kind of thing, it was very surprising how you behaved to the rest of the community. They saw you as quiet and alone and sad, but the reality was you were perfectly content at home by yourself. So, so what happened? What happened as we go on? As you got older, this is interesting. This is when you're much, much older. And this is one of the young men from the community. And it's not like a, Mrs. Robinson kind of thing. This is one of the young men from the community would come over and help because he was a good person and he had a good heart. And was very sweet, very sweet. But he's another adjacent neighbor or something like that. And it wasn't like people said, "Oh, stay away from Colonial Debbie. She's out there." They just kind of gave you your space. And there were some women that were, questioning how you could, live on your own. But your kind of adage was, "There's a task at hand, so I have to do it." And that, I think, is a very understandable explanation, but not for the women of this time. They would not have understood that. If the wolves came, they would need the husband to take the gun down and shoot the wolves or scare them away. If there was a fire, they would need the men to put out the fire, and you were much, much more capable. But as you got older, there was a young man who came and helped out. Not because you asked him to, but because of the goodness of his heart. And there was something that you would exchange with him, some kind of like hot cross buns or something. There's some kind of a bun that you keep giving him. I see you giving it to him. It's like got like a little rough hewn cloth. Hi Gemma. And I just looked up. So there's some kind of delicious treat that you would give him, but it looked like a little hot cross bun, but it's not sticky on the top. It's like kind of a dry bun, but I think it's a sweet flavor. And that's something that you would give him. You'd also make something in a pitcher, and I can't figure out what that is because it's like it's not lemonade, it's not tea, it's nothing that we would have. I don't know what it is that's in that pitcher, but it's like a clay heavy pitcher, and you would give him that. So I don't know if maybe you took like mint or some herbs from the garden and threw them in the spring water, but that's you would give him that as well. And he would come and spend, do some work for you, like fix the fence, fix the hinge on the door. There's something about there were leather hinges on the front door, and I don't exactly know how these work, but I do know that they're a thing. There's leather hinges on the door, and they would have to get replaced, and he replaced them for you at one point. Took them down and kind of replaced them. So I'll have to do some research on that because I'm not sure what that's all about. But so this nice young man coming over, and you would ply him with food. I do that all the time. I gave one of the window repair guys, I made him take one of my pumpkin maple muffins today. So he was one of them that actually asked about your mindset about not taking on another husband and not having children and not having any progeny and progeny, and about taking care of yourself. And your answer to him was, I'm still here. So therefore, I need to do it. A task at hand must be done. And I almost feel like that's something that you would say, a task at hand must be done. And I'm the one who should do it. So very, very practical kind of thinking. And you were never without. You did very well. Like, I don't know what you did to exist. I mean, I don't know. Do you have taxes? Do you have to pay for the house? I have no idea. But you were doing just fine. You just kind of existed there. And I don't know if you were farming or if you were sewing. I can't. The only thing I can see you doing is going down to that little creek, the little river that's behind the house. And I just see you doing laundry, but I don't think that you're doing other people's laundry. So I don't know if you were some kind of seamstress, maybe you were making clothes. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you were doing. There's much more to the property that I can't see as well. I know that there's some kind of a small barn for like maybe 2 or 3 livestock, maybe even 4. I feel like 2 or 3. It's fairly small, but there's more to this property, but the house itself is the only thing that I can see. She's just really kind of stays near the house. And the garden that's on the, if we're looking at the front door, there's a garden on the left side. So I think you would grow your garden on that would probably be the south side so that the sun would get to it for most of the year. So I guess that would be the southern side or maybe the eastern side. I don't know. Again, I'll have to do some research on that. But you were never without. You did really just fine. You had like a just fine existence. You're very happy there, and you'd go on down to the little local store. Even at the end of your days, you had no regrets. You had no regrets that you stayed by yourself, that you lived your life on your terms and not under a false marriage or a false relationship. You were very, very happy about that. And next lifetime, you vowed that you would work together with more people, that you would put more effort in to work with more people. Did you do that? I don't think you did it in the next lifetime. I think you said, I'm going to kick that can on down the road. So, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, this one of the nice things is that the strength of this colonial Debbie is something that you can bring into this lifetime. And I think that you do have, you know, a very strong, you know, sense of self and sense of capability. So, you know, these past lives that we've had and that we uncover, we can always, because we've already lived that, because we've already experienced it, we can go back and we can tap into those emotions. We can tap into that strength and we can transport it into this lifetime. So that's, you know, one of the reasons why I was really keen on doing this. I said, oh, this will be really fun. We can, you know, we can have some fun with this. So, so I hope you like that follow up there. Prima, thank you. And I see further on down that you want one. I'm just going to go and order Honey Bunny. So there's my terst. I did a terst to see if my texting was working. So, oh, thank you. And Deborah is one of my students. I can't wait to have you guys back in. It's going to be a great class. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll have some ads up for it. Starting tomorrow. I'm going to get up early and I'm going to do those. Hit that like button. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw. I had like the weirdest thing happen yesterday. The video that I did, the Las Vegas video that I did for Harry and Meghan, I had like 75 views and I had 1.6 thousand likes on it. And I was like, that can't be right. I actually did a post, but then I saw everybody else had 1.6 thousand likes. So it was very strange. Something was definitely weird on the tube of the U. Tara, I am doing past life reading. So yes, if you would like one, just type in bold that you want a past life reading. I'm going down the comments. Oh, there you are. Okay, I got you right there. I got you right there. All right, so let's go. And Tara, we do like to get PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. I also have Square. So if you want to throw me a couple bucks as a tip, it'd be appreciated. You don't have to, but it would be appreciated. Everything I'm doing is going toward band fees right now for my son. So, all right, Sarah, let me tap in, or Tara, I'm sorry, not Sarah, Tara. Let's see what we get. Oh, Tara, this feels much more recent. And we got another spouse, and we got another love life. I did shuffle these. Monk or nun, male, female. So I'm going to warn you, just when I get these monk or nun, that sometimes is just a more religious approach. So, Tara, I don't know how old you are, but I'm getting a strong vibe of like the 70s. I don't know if you're younger than that. I hope you're younger than the 70s, because this is coming through loud and clear that this is like the late 60s, 70s. This communal living is not communal living though. It's you were with like a group of people, like a close-knit community of people. I don't know if I would call it a commune, but you guys were certainly living a little bit differently, and you had like a different approach to spirituality and religion. So, you know, like late 60s, early 70s, if you can pop up in the comments, you know, how old you are, if you don't mind. Or not how old you are, but yeah, if well, I don't even know how to say this without having you reveal like personal information, but this definitely feels like a much more recent lifetime. So why is this one so significant? I'm using some Lenormand here. I was drawn to the Lenormand. And those of you that don't know Lenormand, that it is playing card cartomancy. Let's do a little bit of this. see what we get. So we have the book. Secrets revealed. All right. So, yeah, I think that you were involved with some kind of an organization that was working on spirituality. So, I'm not going to pin anybody down. I'm not going to say that you were in, with Jim Jones and Jonestown or anything like that. But it kind of feels like that. I'm gonna be honest. It feels a little sketch. Like there's some weirdness going on. Not to the extent of Jonestown, but there is kind of a skewed spirituality here that we're looking at. And we have book, Scythe, Sun, Heart, Gentleman, Tree, and Cross. So the gentleman here was helping people explore and develop their spirituality. It really was somebody who in earnest was helping people, but they were breaking the process of getting involved in this organization. They would have to break down the religious and spiritual concepts that people had before they could come in, and trying to build this community, trying to build it so it would flourish in terms of generations. So like we would have generations, and I don't think there was anything weird going on with having children or forcing people to have children or anything like that. But it was kind of like, I almost want to say it's feeling a little bit older, like maybe early 60s, maybe even late 50s. Like it's definitely right in that pocket between the 50s and 70s. It's in that pocket somewhere. And the experience for you was with your spouse. You were with your spouse, getting in there and very in earnest and very open and trying to find God. And you had come from not a Catholic background, but more like a Methodist Protestant kind of background. I always call that like Catholicism light. And because it doesn't have all of the rites and rituals. You're not up and down during the whole service. But there was something about your traditional spiritual teaching that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get out of my rut here as I get closer to the table. There was something about your traditional upbringing in spirituality that was lacking. And so this was a little bit flashier. And it's kind of like, and I say this all the time. I tell people that they, can have a partnership with God. Like we don't have to have this doom and gloom God or spirit guide or universe or universal light, whatever you want to call it. We can have a partnership with that energy center. We can do that. We don't have to bow down and be punished. And God is not cruel. As long as you're playing by the rules and you're doing the right things, we got to think it's pretty benevolent. I believe that we're all part of the same energy mass, and that there is a center to that mass that we do want to return to. And through evolution, through good deeds and evolving spiritually through lifetimes, we wind up going back to that and become beings of light ourselves, and we can help others and do all kinds of cool stuff. I can't wait to be a ghost. So it was pitched kind of like that you can be the captain of your own ship, that you will be able to commune with God on your own, as opposed to through a conduit like a an elder or a bishop or a priest or whomever. So this, you did want to leave it after a while. There wasn't the illumination that you had wanted. And so you did say, okay, this is not what it's all cracked up to be. I really want to get out of this. And what happened when you left? When you left, you actually did find illumination. You did find that covenant with God, that promise with God, where you felt him, her, or them, or they, or it, or the light, whatever you want to call it. You actually did feel that illumination when you left. And the lesson was that you can find God, you can communicate with God in any way. You can find it. I'm actually listening to, I'm almost done with it, the Matthew Perry biography, and he had his moment of illumination. It was this beautiful light that he saw, and he said he would always see it with sunlight winking off water. He would get the book is heartbreaking because he talks about how he doesn't want to die. But he would see God in light sparkling off the water, moonlight too. It wasn't, wasted with moonlight, but that I think is a message. If you don't have that spiritual connection with God, that's why this would come up, that you need to find that connection again, and know that you don't have to go to a church or a temple or any kind of fortified building in order to have that relationship. So many people illuminated during the lockdown and got closer to their God, or got closer to spirituality. So it's something that a lot of people are exploring. It was something that I noticed when Shelly and I started the online business of doing cards over the internet. A lot of people came to us, and we, one of my first questions is always, have you ever had a card reading? And everyone said, no, I just saw you guys talking about it. I was interested and I want to get a card reading. So, you can see, people are tuned in a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you something to think about. I hope it resonated with you. Let me know in the comments. I hope that's, scratch the itch for you. So, Sue, yes, it's a wand. And when I do controlled remote viewing, one of the techniques is we use our pen to touch the ideogram. We draw an ideogram, like kind of just a squiggly line that represents, water, metal, earth, hot, cold. We have ideograms for colors. So sometimes when you want to get more information about the area that you are looking at remote viewing, you touch the ideogram and pick your pen up. So Alicia Wicker, my good friend Alicia Wicker, was selling these on her site, aliciawicker.com. And she had a video and showed this one. I was like, okay, mine, that's it. So I immediately went and bought it. And when I got it home, I said, I wonder if I could do the same thing with the amethyst wand, if I could get more information from the cards. And so I tried it out. I shared it with Alicia. We both experimented with it, and sure enough, it works really great. So, so we do that. We use the wand to get more information from the cards. It's pretty cool. Amanda, my beautiful friend, my beautiful, beautiful friend. It's starting to get cold up here. I'm thinking about heading south. So my niece is down in Florida. She sent a beautiful picture of a sunset, and her dad posted it on the interwebs, and it was delightful. Looking good down there in the Sunshine State. All right, so Amanda, you and your husband. Let's see what we get. That jumped out. We're going to take that. Oh, galactic. Are we going to space? Let's see if we're going to space. Oh. Cards are singing. Which deck are we going to use for this? I always feel like little Ellen Cannon Reed. Bring this mama out. What do you guys think so far? Let me know in the comments. Kind of peeking up here. Oh yeah, Amanda, you guys are supposed to be together. I'm zeroing in on it. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, okay. The worst part about this is that it's almost a not terrestrial relationship. Like, this is one that's forged on the other side. And that's really cool because that means that you guys get to have a lot of primary relationships together. So this business here is almost like you guys work together when you're on the other side. It's like you come out of the lifetime and you have like an office together on the other side and you kind of work together. But he can't remember a lot of this stuff. There's this weird shade that's put over him. He doesn't remember a lot of the relationship moving together on the other side. He feels it. You remember more of it. There's more of that for you. Oh, hang on. I gotta cover her up because some people get offended by the nakedness. This is one of the, all right, not that you guys fight, but this is why you guys fight sometimes. This affects your relationship now because he doesn't have that recall. So when this is like when you guys have a disagreement, there's sometimes this automatic sense for you, like, I just got to let this go because he's just not getting it. Like, you are the one, and it's not that you're subjugated. You relent because you know that he doesn't recall it. And it's very frustrating for you, but you keep moving down the path. For you, this is more of a lesson for you. It's like having a spouse that can, ladies, I know we all get this, having a spouse that can't hear you. What? Gregopedia's here. So it's not that he can't hear you, it's that he can't remember how things go. So he can't quite, he doesn't have that recall, whereas you do. You recall the cooperation that you have together on the other side. You're like, oh, he'll get it together when we're back over there. So very, very good situation where you guys are just, you adore each other in this lifetime, but you adore each other on the other side. This is something that he feels but doesn't remember. So it's like, it's almost like if you said to him, do you think we had a life together? Like, he's like, no. Whereas, like, sometimes if you present that to someone, and I'll be honest, I never did a deep dive on Gregopedia and I with any past lives. The one past life thing, the meditation that he did, our friend Corey was in it, and I'm a little concerned about Greg leaving me for Corey, quite frankly, because he is a peach. But Greg thinks Corey was his dog, which I don't think is out of the question. I don't think it's insulting. Sometimes we have that situation. Sometimes we're the baby. Sometimes we're the mommy. Sometimes we're the dog. That's okay. I had a dog that I absolutely knew he was a horse in a past life for me. So He was a dog because I couldn't fit a horse in my house. But the love that we take is boundless. The one that we bring into this lifetime, it's boundless. So never, ever, ever doubt that connection. So what I see is, in space, like in this galactic space, I see a rope that is tied, but it looks like chain links just going and going, and there's just golden light all over them, and that is the love that you guys have together. So there's something so special about the connection. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The connection that you have, and he doesn't have to have this mystery revealed. It's almost like the blindness and deafness has been put upon him so that he can make some mistakes and so that you can learn how to communicate with him. I would almost say, if you guys wanted to start working on some telepathy, that would be interesting. And it can be as easy as like you put we'll do. I think you guys could communicate telepathically. I'm throwing that out there. And what I would do, this is a fun exercise for everybody. So find yourself a buddy, and what you'll do is you'll plan to have a conversation. I don't know, say 8 o'clock at night, and you'll have an envelope, just like they did in Ghostbusters. You have like an envelope, and you put a word, or it can be a shape or a color. So, shapes and colors usually are the best to start out with. And you have that person, you don't get on the phone with them or anything like that, but you try to have the person figure out what shape or color you're thinking of. Or what shape or color is in the envelope. You put it in the envelope so you can be like, ta-da, yeah, you were right. That kind of stuff. Start small. What is it? Aim small, miss small. So from The Patriot, I love that movie. So if you do that, what'll happen is, and the first few times you may not do so well, but you want to describe whatever's in there. Like I wouldn't go so far as like put like a whole like comic book strip or like a picture in there. Make it really easy for yourself. Make it like a green heart or something like that, or a purple square, and you try to read that. Then after the first few times, don't give up. Start to escalate it, and you can write a word in a certain color. You can write it in block. You can write it in script. You'd be surprised how much starts to come through. But the key is that person one should be thinking about it and looking at it, and person two should be trying to absorb that, because you want them to look in your head, not remote view what's in the envelope. So you try to have that conversation in your head. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I'm going to have on the Discord, I'm going to set up for like a medium group, a remote viewing group, a telepathy group, and we can start to do some stuff with that. I'm learning how to use Discord with the hutches, so I'm getting a little bit better at it. So I'm a little bit more active on it. But I think that's pretty cool. So Amanda, I would try, like, if you can like tell your husband the crazy psychic on YouTube said we could probably telepathically communicate. You probably already do, like when you're finishing each other's sentences, when you're getting the same ideas at the same time. A lot of that is telepathy. And the more time you spend in someone's immediate energy center, so like when we're sleeping together at night, when you hug somebody, our energy centers go out 6 feet. So they, you will absorb that and kind of connect on that energetic level. Deborah, Fingerprints of the Gods, awesome book. If you get one Graham Hancock book, that's it. I mean, his show on Netflix is amazing. I love it. So, all right, let me shake up my calorie bomb here. TD, more than happy to do this. Let me just give myself a little clear, guys. A little clear. A little selenite again from my girl, Alicia Wicker. Right away, I'm in a sandy place. Mesopotamia, someplace hot. Hot, hot, hot. I don't want to say Egypt. Egypt, you were Cleopatra, Nefertiti. No, definitely someplace hot.
Samaria.
And Samaria? Samaria?
Babylonia, that's Samaria.
More like India. I'm getting India here. Let's see what comes up in the card. Monk or nun. Get Greco-Roman. Arts, transportation. There's Egypt. So we got Greco-Roman and Egypt. I'm definitely feeling more of this. But some of the areas of Greece can be pretty dry. It was a very, very dry area. So I'm going to say if we're going to rely on these cards, it's Greco-Roman time period, probably in more of an Egypt place. So what I see right away is you are a female, very attractive female, middle-aged for the time. 3 children that are younger. So I'm going to place you at like 27, 28, 29, maybe early 30s. But the younger children, actually, I think you're younger than that. Just you look older because people just look older then. But your children are not babies, toddlers, youth, like grade school. The oldest boy, who's really handsome and has like curly little hair, he's probably 7 or 8 and very rambunctious. He's a lot to handle. He is a lot of work. Very excited. He's super happy to be on Earth. Then you have a little girl, and then you have a younger boy. So the little girl is very quiet. She's very quiet, and the younger one is very quiet. They take after your husband. Your husband is very quiet, and he is the artisan. He was doing some kind of artisan work. You are like caretaker wife. And there's a walkway. So if the settlement is here, so we've got like little homes and like the settlement here, there's a walkway here, and you walk back and forth to go get something. It's like grain or water or food. There's some kind of food thing that you go to the food store. There's some kind of location this way that you have to walk back and forth, and your son, the oldest son, kind of scampers around and like drives. It's like, this is a grocery store story. Like, he just kind of runs back and forth with you. That is the most impactful relationship you have. You adore this child. This is your sweet baby boy. But he drives you nuts. He is driving you nuts. He is not like anyone else. He is very different. And some would say not well behaved. But it honestly, like spirit wise, he's so excited to be on the planet that he just can't contain himself. He was very excited to get here. You had him very early on after you got married. And just super excited. He was a happy baby, but as a youth and like a toddler into his youth, he's so excitable. Many people told you, your mother and your father in particular, his grandparents, wanted you to step on him and make him behave. They really, really wanted you to punish him and make him behave. And it was very stressful for you. That relationship was extremely stressful because they were critical of your parenting. They were critical of how you were handling. You shielded him from your husband a great deal too, because your husband was very quiet and your husband wanted to address it in a more aggressive manner, but he wasn't very forthcoming with love toward any of the children. So he was a little bit sweeter to your daughter, I think, but you were very afraid that if he stepped up and disciplined this child, that it would change him, it would break him. You didn't want him to break him. Your parents wanted you to break this kid like a horse, or like a camel. They wanted you to come down very hard, and your father was like, I will do it. I will step up and do this for you. If you don't do it, someone will. And that, they kept saying that that he wasn't going to be able to work, because they thought he was just going to be like a cucamonga, like forever. He was just going to be running around and like spinning like a top. And he's never going to be able to do anything. They did not see him sitting and concentrating, but it wasn't like an ADHD thing or anything like that. This was just this amazing spirit that came out. Now, what happened with him is that he was fine. You protected him. Definitely you protected him. You spared him from being handled by anyone else. And as he got older, he became but he was still goofy. But he was goofy in private. Girls didn't like him. I'm sorry. Girls didn't know what to make out of him. I should say that. They were kind of like, put off, because everyone was just a little bit more, tightened up. They were just, just a little bit more tightened up. So the young girls just did not understand him, because he was always like standing on his head and like, spinning around on his heel. That was one of the things that he would do. He would, in the dirt, there would be like dirt or sand, and he would spin around on his heel. Like he would lift up his foot and like spin around on one heel. And he would do like these spins, not like Michael Jackson or anything like that. But he would spin, and he would like make lines in the sand with like his other foot. Like he would do all these crazy things. And he would do that to like impress the girls. Like, watch how many times I can spin around. Watch how many times I can spin around. He wouldn't like be showing off for them, but he'd be like, this is so much fun. And he loved the sensation of being dizzy after that. So that was like, he would like kind of giggle and like have a good time with that. As he got older, there were certain elements that didn't take him seriously as an adult, because he was like still a goofball. He was super happy as a person. He really was. And there was a zany girl that paired up with him eventually. So there was a zany girl, probably from, your same area, because people didn't travel that far. And you were just regular people in this lifetime. So it wasn't like, you're like going to all these crazy places. But there was a zany girl that said, I'll take one for the team. Like he looks like he's a lot of fun. The marriage wasn't great, because I think it was almost like he wasn't serious enough and ambitious enough for her to, like, she grew up and he didn't. But he was just fine. He was just fine. So let's go back and see. Really, the crux of this relationship is about following what what you intrinsically know, versus what authority is telling you, or what our elders are telling us. So the idea of I know there's a different way, breaking the legacy here, breaking the tried and true methods of child rearing that are going through, and standing alone. Now, did this cause some problems with your husband? Yes, I think it did. But I think eventually you did win him over. And as your son got older and kind of stepped into it, when your husband got in his later years, your son would make him laugh a lot. And that was something, and he realized, when your husband realized later, when your son was older and he was making him laugh, when he was like on his deathbed, and he was making him laugh, that this was his true gift. These were the callings that these were the gifts that he got, and they were rare gifts. That was something that your husband in this lifetime realized, that this was a very, very rare gift, and he was very fortunate, and he was grateful for that on the way out the door. So so I think, the value of that relationship and what we pack in our trans lifetime suitcase is that, sometimes we can do something different from what our parents or elders are telling us to do, and it's going to work out okay. So I did do my Joe Dispenza meditation this morning. Instead of getting up and working out with weights, I did my meditation first to set my intention for the day, per the Hutch's Optimum program. And I think when we do that, when we have a very clear picture of our intention and what we're headed toward, we can kind of see that there's possibility. So like, some people will say, oh, I did X and it was the worst decision I ever made. No, you did X and you just didn't find the right pathway and the right follow through to find success. So in any situation, we can find success. We just need to find the right pathway, the right energetic pathway, and the right decision. So, it's like, try again. So, I keep saying to Greg, maybe I should apply for another job. Like, maybe I should go back. And he's like, nope. Greg like keeps telling me no. And I have other friends that are like in the whole spiritual world, and they keep telling me the universe keeps throwing you monkey wrenches. They keep throwing you monkey wrenches and asking you to go back, just go back, do the safe thing. And they all keep telling me not to do it. So I'm not doing it. I'm still here. So, all right, Prima, my love. Prima, I tried to set up this, the Path Life stuff, so that it was a good time for my UK people. So I hope this was a good time for you. I might start doing them. I'll do my lives when I come on. I'm thinking I'm going to start them at like 4:00 my time, because that would be 9:00 Great Britain time. And that way, if I stay on for like 3 hours, I can kind of get everybody, the United States people, before and after they have dinner. So let me know. I can always shift times around. Whoop, flipping cards over. Slappy shuffle. All right, so this is Prima, the most impactful lifetime affecting this lifetime. I'm getting lush, humid jungle. Or I shouldn't say jungle. It doesn't, I don't know if it feels like a jungle, but I'm getting a lot of green, a lot of canopy, possibly some vines, but it's humid. It's humid. And it's warm. It's not cold. We're going to put these three together. Huh. I'm going to go with this one. So I've got two individuals that I see. There's a male and a female, and they are mated. The female has a lot of hair. Feels like South America. Feels like South America. When I say a lot of hair, I mean she's got a lot of hair. It's like it's very strong hair. It's got like some texture to it. definitely kind of big. And there's something she has on her head here that's holding the hair down, and I can feel there's the little bit of sweat underneath here because there's something metal in this. So that it's something metal that's going on. So very pretty, very attractive, dark skinned. Beautiful lips. So really, really beautiful mouth. Oh, okay. So beautiful voice too. So not like a singing voice, but there's this very beautiful voice that comes out of her. It's this very soothing voice, very rich voice. It's like caramel and coffee all mixed up in one. Very, very beautiful voice. And that is her job. That is her job. Her job is in the community. There's something about it's like sound healing. She's like a cantor in a Jewish temple. She's not a cantor in a Jewish temple, but she has a position like that. It's like she chants and she sings, and her voice is beautiful. People stop when they hear her, and the sound cuts right through them. And that's what the higher ups, the priests, said about her when she was little. That's how they kind of discovered her, like Star Search. They said her voice cuts right into us. So she must sing because this will reach everyone. It definitely feels like Aztec-y. Now, the existence is a little bit questionable because I do think, and that's where this is coming from. So I think she was taken from her family and like brought to the religious center, the temple, and kind of expropriated for spiritual purposes and brought there. The voice of God, the voice of an angel, the voice of the beyond. She can call things to us. There's something about the heart, though, that the voice, the sound affected the heart, and that was something that was very, very significant. The elders at the religious center, for lack of a better word, I'm just going to call it religious center, they were not kind to children. They treated children like adults. And it's not saying anything like sketchy, like they were, diddling with them or anything like that. But it was kind of like, you're taken from your home. And she was 11, 12, 13 when she was taken from her home. They were just kind of plopped into this religious experience, this religious life, and expected to just kind of catch up. And she was super, super homesick. And she did want to run away and go home. And I think she even attempted to, and was criticized for not understanding that her gifts were of on high, that her gifts were engineered. That was kind of how it was pitched to her. You were created by the creator to do this, to serve in this capacity, to serve us. And it is like a nun. She would not be allowed to marry. And that's the thing that was on her head. The thing on her head marked her as one of these, I don't know, priestesses. Do we call her a priestess? We got the high priestess here. I like some kind of. I don't feel like she was a priestess as much as she was like a cantor at a temple. Like she was brought out for this purpose of singing. She wasn't someone that the community would go to for spiritual advisement or anything like that. She would just be brought out for ceremonial purposes. She would sing. The rest of the time she was expected to go through different rituals, different things. And there's a lot indoors, so it's like a lot of in like these stone kind of things. Like, I don't know if this is like Mayan, I see possibly Mexico. We don't have to have a connection with any of the places that, that we tap into in our past lives. Like, like there's plenty of, I still have not understood why I'm so affectionate with the Russian Revolution, but I'm sure there's some kind of connection there if I did want to do some deep diving on it. But we don't have to have a connection in this lifetime to it. We don't even have to recognize it. It's like some of these things, like I can just kind of pull them out and say, hey, what do you think of this? And how does this feel? And you make, oh no, I don't, that doesn't resonate with me at all. And then you go home and you're like, oh wow, like I've had this Swedish flag forever, and she said I used to live in Sweden. So you can have some kind of connection, some kind of secret connection. But in this sense, this is just trying to you're just trying to get through your day. So they were very critical of you for trying to leave and go home. And I don't know if that's the scene that I'm seeing in the woods with you, with the head thing on and this other gentleman with you. He was very fond of you and was restraining himself because he did find you very attractive. And you're older at this point. You're like 17, 18, 19. So he brought you back, and it partially to protect you from getting into further trouble. But he was also one of the people that was critical of you for leaving. But he liked to look upon you. That's like a good thing to say. He liked to look upon you. So why is this significant for this lifetime? So because of that covenant with, and this is the thing, because a theme here with all these religion things. So the forced nature of service to God and to the religious community, the forced nature of that was something that became scary. So I don't know if organized religion is like a little unnerving for you. I know for the longest time I'd walk into a Catholic church and I'd be like, oh God, like what are they going to make me do? So I didn't know any of the rituals, and half my family was Catholic, and I didn't know when to stand. I didn't know when to sit. And I always got the Our Father who art in heaven messed up because our family was Protestant, partially Protestant, half of our family is Protestant. So I always screwed it up. But, it's almost like the forced nature of this, the intense, this is an obligation of yours. That intensity of it made it very scary for you. And it's hard to get out of that, because in that most protected environment, you don't feel protected. You feel exploited, and not like in a creepy, weird way. But you feel like your gifts are exploited. So that is why this is a significant lifetime for you this time around, which is pretty cool. So don't feel further exploited by organized religion. Try not to feel exploited by it. But let me know in the comments if any of that rings true, or if you have a beautiful singing voice. Hello, child. I'm on live. Hi. Welcome back. I like your hat. So beautiful day here. I think it was 66 degrees when we were outside. So let me just give those a little clean. I'll scroll down in the comments. Let me know how you're enjoying this. Prima, thank you so much for your contribution. Wifey, darling. Wifey. So we got a lot of trolls in Facebook today. So we got Christine. Oh, the trolls. Thank you for your donations. Thank you, TD, for doing that while I'm doing this. Yeah, I think maybe I'll develop a past life deck. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you like to see in it. I could do that. That could be fun. Could be a fun thing to do. Ooh, you had that hair color as a baby, Deborah. Very cool. Colonial Debbie. We're getting jackets. Colonial Debbie. And Gemma, I hope you're having a fantastic day, my honey. I haven't been on much. I've been doing tiger time between trying to make sure I hit a bunch of high notes on my business. I've got my class is coming up, so I'm going to do a post for that, so you guys can join in on my class if you want. And I have Afterpay, which is fantastic. So Laura Yap. Let me see, Laura Yap. When Irish eyes are smiling. I think we're in Ireland, guys. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. I'm definitely someplace that's super green. The cool thing is, like, I always start out in a field. Like, when I'm doing these past life reads, I start out in a field, and then, like, the field starts to take shape. This one, I'm definitely seeing some of those beautiful stone walls. They're absolutely sectioned off into different fields, and it is as green as it gets. Transportation. I'm going to ignore that Egypt because I don't think that this is in Egypt. I'm going to cover that up. Food and hunger. This makes a lot more sense to me. Finances. I'm pulling one more end, baby. Hey, baby. So I'm going to say this is more like potato famine. And definitely agricultural, part of Ireland. And we've got, you can make things out of the garden. Let's put it that way. You can make tonics and things like that. You're absolutely, your woman, absolutely. And you're on like a very small farm. There's a lot of children, too many children for me to count. But there is the want to leave, but sheer terror. Absolute sheer terror about leaving. And the move would be to Canada. And I think someone there, someone that went there, but it's almost like they went to the dark side of the moon, and you haven't heard anything. So you don't know if it's good or not. They left, but you don't know if it's good or not. Your husband's family suffered very, very, they were doing very poorly during this, we'll call it famine. They were doing very poorly, and that's why your husband was like, I can't let the family die out. We have to do something. And this baby was the concern. The youngest one was doing poorly. Your youngest one was doing poorly because of the hunger. You were trying to treat the baby before you left. That's it. So you were consumed with, this is a very, very stressful and anxious period of this lifetime. You were consumed with anxiety over the baby. You did not want to lose the baby. I get the sense that you lost 2 babies before. There's a lot of kids, though. You have a lot of kids. So this baby was very skinny and very small when it was born, and not really thriving. And I get the sense that you're still nursing too, because there's something that you're taking. There's a thing that you're making for yourself, and it's with either like goat's milk or cow's milk. There's some kind of milk going on in it, and then some herbs that you're crushing up and putting in there. And I want to say thistle, like I know milk thistle, but there's something, maybe it's milk thistle, I don't know. But there's some kind of tonic that you're taking to give the baby more nourishment, because you're still nursing. You're still nursing and you're trying to fatten this baby up. And you are very, very thin. You are very thin as well. So consumed with being nervous about the trip, about not wanting to go back to revisit having lost a child. You don't want to do that. But also this fear of the unknown, of what's on the other side. So do we ever go to Canada? Looks like there was a delay. There's a delay there. Do we ever ultimately get there? Yes, we do get there. So ultimately we get to Canada. Does everybody go? So everybody goes, but it was a lot of work. How'd our baby do? How'd this baby do? The baby eventually was okay, but scared you for a long time. There's a lot of anxiety on that. So we do get to Canada. You still considered this a very, very scary choice. I don't know Canadian geography, but I keep getting Calgary, and I don't know if Calgary is like an easy trip. Like, I don't know. Where's Calgary, Greg? Gregopedia?
I don't know.
Is it on
Alberta, maybe?
is it on the East Coast? Yeah.
No, it's central, I think.
It is in Alberta. Well done, Greg. I need a map. I'm looking. I'm getting a whole map of Canada. Oh my goodness, Canada is so big. No, I lost it. Yeah, it's more toward the West Coast. It is central, but oof. So I think that's where you wind up ultimately. That may have been, the long slog to get there. So this amount of doubt, when the trip got in process, you really had your act together on this one. You knew where you were headed in the right direction. You knew where you were going. And you gladly went into the unknown. It was almost like once you got on the boat, you were like, okay, we're here. Everybody's safe. Nothing's going to happen on this boat. You felt very, very safe on the boat. And then once you got there, it was an incredible journey, a difficult journey, but the journey was done. It was not the greatest situation, but you made the best out of it. So why is this? It was a difficult journey, a difficult go, but why is this such an important lifetime for you to know about today? So when faced with a dearth of resources, when faced with challenges, be they food, finances, challenges with health of other people, your resources are boundless. And for this past life, the faith in God was we're doing so much God talk today too. The faith in God was wavering, but you always prayed. You always prayed. You always went to that. You just didn't understand how it was being answered. This is the message for you, is that the resources are always there for you. You're one of those people that has this bottomless well of resource to make things happen, to make things right, to work through them. Now, that's not to say it's not magical. Like, you don't snap your fingers and everything's great all of a sudden. It does take some effort on your part, but you have this work ethic and you meet challenges very, very strongly. And the message for you is never, ever forget that. Never take your foot off the gas on this, because this is really an incredible, incredible strength that you pack in that suitcase and you bring from lifetime to lifetime. So make sure you stick with that. It's really, really, the amount of anxiety that this individual had during the lifetime is really, really intense. What I felt was super, super intense. So, you have to know that anxiety sometimes fuels us for the future. Sometimes that's what pushes us right into action and into the future. So I'm just gonna let these recharge real quick. I'm gonna dump out my wand. You got to dump energy out sometimes. So so I hope you like that, Laura. If you're so inclined, please throw me a little tip. I have cash apps as well. Deborah, are we going to wind up with this guy again? Let me see. Do you ever get back? Oh, I didn't put it up. Let me put this up. Swoop. Thanks, everybody. You guys are being super generous tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is really fun. I'm enjoying this. If we want to make this a regular feature, I'm down for it. So, are we going to get back together with Colonial Deborah's sweet guy, Mr. Consumption? Yes, that's a big fat yes right there. Oh, there he is. So, but you're not going to recognize him. That's the problem. So initially, this is when he shows back up. All right. He's going to come bearing gifts. He's going to be really fun, but you're not going to recognize him. You're almost going to be like, oh, give me a break. This is the thing, he might show up as somebody that you wouldn't necessarily lean into. It might be somebody who's a little bit different from what you're aesthetically and intellectually attracted to right now. But he's going to be like an onion. You're going to have to peel away those layers so that you can see it. He's going to be super sweet and super fun. Those are the two things that I can tell you about him. If you are to meet him, it's going to take a little bit of time, and then you have to kind of dig deep and get into it. So is it going to be in this lifetime? This lifetime, I think you're a little too guarded. Is he approximately nearby? I don't think that he's currently nearby you. Give me a sec. So Mr. Consumption is consumed with work in this lifetime, and it's a physical work. So and I think he's also working outside. It feels like construction, like that kind of a trade. Like he's outside, he's doing a lot of stuff with his hands. He's dirty, he's tan, he's got his shirt off, he's got, sun's out, guns out. In this lifetime, he's very, very busy working. And I think that is to make up for lost time in other lifetimes. Absolutely. Yeah. He didn't feel productive if that lifetime is affecting the colonial lifetime. If it's affecting this lifetime, he couldn't do things because of the consumption, and he could not continue because of the consumption. So he almost is trying to make up for that, and he's like working his butt off. So he's not looking up from his work. I see him, he's like sitting on something outside, he's crouching, has something in front of him, and he's working on it, and he's facing down. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day, sun's out, guns out, and he's working so intently because he's just engrossed in work and he likes what he's doing. It's not like he's scrambling, like chasing a paycheck, but he's so engrossed in what he's doing that he can't look up and look around him. So this is kind of his existence. So this lifetime, I don't know. I think he's a little bit busy. We can start meditating and see if we can draw him in. Definitely a good guy. Definitely has dark hair this lifetime. He got stronger hair. So let me scroll through. And I'm scrolling through. Mina. Hi, Mina. How are you, sweetie pie? So let's see what we got. Ooh, karmic relationship right out of the bat. Wars and battles. I hear metal. There's that baby again. Babies keep showing up tonight. Got babies all over the place. So I'm hearing a lot of metal. So there's, hang on. Amina, I think I've got two. So one feels like kind of knights on a field with like the whole armor and the whole getup, and they're kind of pounding on each other on horseback. The other one feels like Civil War. I'm kind of like split between the two. Civil War here in the US. And I think you're getting a 2-for-1. I think we've got battle situation. So let's look at the night one. Let's just call that the romantic night one. Let's look at that one first. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. There. You went to war and left your lady love, and you sent her money, but you didn't come home. So in the romantic nighttime, you were an important person in the battle. And I'm not getting a sense of what battle this was, but it looks like you've repeated this. So your lady love, you sent money. We've got lady, letter, fish. Fish is always money. Clover is good luck, and then clouds. So you were sending her money home. Oh my, wait a sec. Oh boy. I don't think the baby's yours. I'm sorry. I don't think the baby's yours. Oh, I'm sorry. So, in this romantic night lifetime, I think that you went away to war and you came home and there was a baby that resulted, but the baby was not yours. It was somebody else's. Did we see the same thing in the Civil War? There's the stork and your lady, anchor, viper, snake, and the house. So I think the same thing. This is a repeating relationship. I'm so sorry, Amina. It's a repeating relationship. I think that on both occasions, this lady love sought friendship with another. So let's take a look at that. And I'm just going to pull this out. Yeah, that's a tough one. It was easy to hide back then. So she did try and hide it. With the romantic night, she tried to kind of pass it off, but he always knew that it wasn't his baby. I think you stayed and just said, I'm just gonna deal with this because I love her so much. But in your heart, this was a heartbreak. This romantic night, I think, is key, because he stayed and knew that she did not love him. Now, in this Civil War lifetime, where we do the same thing, the obligation to stay with her, you're a bit more pissed off in this lifetime because you confront her on this. That's the snake is this is our viper woman. You confront her on it, and you cannot leave. You cannot break up the family home because it will completely decimate your family's reputation. It feels like that this is like, you know, Virginia, kind of like that halfway point between the South and the North. But it's definitely like a big plantation-y kind of farm thing. Did you stay? Did you stay, or were you just rotten to her? You kept your temper. This lifetime, she pined away for the other guy. This one, she pined away for the money. She liked the money. So it wasn't, she didn't care that she did you dirty. Oh, wait, let me bring those up. Sorry, guys. She didn't care that she did you dirty in this lifetime. She was like, what are you going to do about it? I'm just going to stay here and spend your money. That's what I'm going to do. So, you know, if you want to ruin the reputation of everyone here, that's fine. You had other children with him in this lifetime, and that was her hook. She was like, well, it'll decimate your oldest son. He won't be able to take over the farm, the plantation. So, you know, this kind of relationship, I don't think you're in this relationship in this lifetime. I think you got a break from this one, but I think perhaps the reason why this one is so prominent and coming up in a reading is maybe you need to be prepared for it on the next one. Maybe you're getting a breather from it on this lifetime. So a little bit of intrigue, a little bit. I hope you like that, Amina. Wow, it's heavy stuff. You got 2 for 1 though. That was cool. That was pretty cool. So I don't know. So, you have any affection for the Civil War or knights? Who doesn't love knights? I love knights and maidens and dragons and fairy tales. I love all that stuff. I'm just going to give these a little clean. Let me scroll down. Tina, it is not too late. It is not too late. Scroll down. Let me know what you want to know. And I'm scrolling through. Oh, Amanda, good. I'm glad you're liking this. Wife of a grumpy old man. Maureen, this is a good question. Let's see what Princess Charlotte was. Oh, I'm getting tingles, I'm getting downloads already. Let's see what Princess Charlotte was. Huh? Oh, girl's so cute. Princess Charlotte. Oh, you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to hit B. And oh, yeah, this is great. So StreamYard's got this new feature. I can hit a marker and then I can repurpose the video. So Princess Charlotte Past Life. Let's see what we get for that darling. Travel or leaving? Transportation. Baby. That baby keeps showing up. Asia. Scribe or writer. This is about the trains. And it's about I think it's the trains in America. Hang on, let me just clear my mind. No, take it back. But it's absolutely about trains and about moving. It feels like the the Trans-Siberian Railroad. It feels a little bit like that, but it's not the Trans-Siberian Railroad. It's not that cold. This is, it's not trains, but it's the main thoroughfare, the main passageways across. Feels like China. Feels China-ish. Not that I've ever been to China. Anybody in the comments ever been to China? We got stars, book, sun, lady, stork, viper. Ooh. So, Princess Charlotte, last significant. I'm going to hold off on this Asia thing. The last significant relationship was, or a lifetime, was around the travel thoroughfares, the main arteries of travel in a very, very large country in the East. So it could be Russia, could be China, huge kind of like empty kind of large tracts of land, Greg, vast land where you're kind of going through, but there's some kind of mechanized, it doesn't feel like there's a railway all the way through. This is in the construction of some kind of railway, some kind of passageway. She was involved in that, and I think she was a man, like an engineer, not the scribe or writer, but scribe or writer, that could be someone who's actually writing up the plans. So there's something about like engineering that pathway, and this was going to be the wave of the future. And let me see if you guys can see those. Yes, you can. Move these up just a wee bit more. So the wave of the future, moving into a future that would be glorious. This would make things. So I almost want to say this is the railways being built in Russia, because that was a like a great wonder of the world for them. This was going to open up the whole of their country. So it feels very much like that. But the people that were in charge, so the lady, whether this was the Tsar, Tsarina, and the Empress, the people that were in charge of this sent him out on this job and then kind of backstabbed him at some point. It was supposed to be like his glory. He would be given credit, and they wound up just kind of not giving him credit. So I know there was a chapel or a cathedral that was built, and then one of the Roman emperors had the architect blinded, so he would never build anything as beautiful again. It's almost like that, but they buried him so that they could take the glory, so that the monarch, the nobility could take credit for the work that was done. They just buried him. So no glory for him. He basically did all of the work. And it was a decision he made that was life changing. This was his life's work, and they stole it from him. If ever there was a person who would haunt something. So why is this important for Charlotte in this lifetime? Why is it important for her to have experienced doing amazing good things and not getting credit for it, or actually having her identity erased from it? Because bad things can sometimes happen. And these are some heavy cards here. We've got, people that will come bearing manipulative storylines, and this isn't anything about her aunt and uncle, just to be sure. This is in the future, people coming into her purview, and this is support people that will come to her and steal some of her glory, steal some of the the credit for the good things that she does. She needs, this lifetime needs to be recalled just in case someone tries to take that from her. In past lives, she was the very, okay, hey, let's do this. She didn't put her name on things, that sort of thing. Moving backward, kind of, there was such a subjugation here. It's probably why she's a princess in this lifetime, because she really was subjugated here and treated as a subject and was given a lot of promises that didn't come to fruition. This lifetime, she can recover from that. She does not have to look back on that. What skills, what good things does she take with her into this lifetime? Because she's a strong little critter. She's got a hearty personality on her. Any disruptions, any cataclysms, any things like this, she will approach with a steady, loving hand. She's going to make sure that she signs all of her paperwork. So any of the good things that she does, she's going to have her fingerprints all over it. And it's not in defiance of being overseen in this past lifetime, but it's just part of her way. In this lifetime, she's just going to like kind of leave her mark and get her stank all over everything that she does. So she will get much more glory in this lifetime just by the nature of how she conducts herself. So I think this is a good one, but she does have to remember that at one time she was well taken advantage of because she was in service to a monarch. So likely why she was gifted with being a princess in this lifetime, so she doesn't have to subjugate herself to a monarch. She is a royal princess, or princess royal she'll be at one point, I believe. So let's go. That was fun. And Tina, I'm going as fast as I can, guys. Going as fast as I can. Let me just clear these out. I'm glad everybody's having a good time. So this is Tina, right? Okay. All right. So I'll tell you a funny story. My one of my nephews told my mother and my sister, remember when we were on that boat and we died? He was like 3, and they were like, what? All right, Tina. Lifetime when you were the mother. Yeah, we're definitely like in a European kind of mode here. So we'll just say Greater Europe, despite whatever comes up. And there's that spouse again. And the baby keeps showing up. The arts, Native American. I'm ignoring that because I'm getting Europe. I'm not getting imprisonment or slavery either. There's mother. Finances, we'll tuck that. An orphan, that's an interesting card to come up. So let's do this. All right, so you, Tina, are the mother. So feels European, but I'm getting like embroidered dirndl, like kind of like the Polish thing, like the kitchen has a lot of color in it, a lot of detail. I know you know what I'm talking about. I feel like having pierogies, but European, but it feels like either Polish or like Germanic, but it definitely feels like European. So remember when you were the mother? Tina was the mother. There's that child. Here's the gentleman. There's some kind of separation here. So you're the mother. Here's baby's father. Here's baby. There's some kind of separation here. There's no other kids. There's a dog. There's a big dog. Beautiful kitchen. Very like cottagey kitchen. Like a lot of big, cauldron-y kind of thing. Why did we have to split everybody up? So I think you had to go back to your family, specifically your father. I think you, as the mother, had to go back to your parent to take care of him. That there was some kind of recovery that needed to be done, like he was ill or something like that. And when you came back, he was very nasty pants and cut you off. And basically broke your heart and told you that he didn't love you, didn't need you. There wasn't anything you could do to change his mind on that. And I almost feel like he had given the child, and I think your mom was a boy. I think he had given the child to another woman to raise while you were gone. So he had said, I will take care of the child, not telling you I'm going to employ one of these village girls to help out or to help raise this child. And then when you came back, he was like, yeah, we really don't need you anymore. Did you get Bebe back? Did you get Bebe back? I think you had to watch him for a long time, like 6 months, 8 months. I think you had to like keep an eye on him with this woman, and he was little, like 3 years old, not a ginormous kid, enough that like she could kind of shuffle him past you and he wouldn't recognize you. That was let's look at her. Let's look at this crazy woman. Well, she wasn't crazy. She was just given a job. But oh, I get it now. Your husband was out and about doing whatever. He was, doing some kind of work. And she harbored feelings of affection. She thought the longer you stayed away, the better her chances were that he would move forward with her. She just wanted to put you on ice, make him forget you, and marry him. She gave him some ultimatums and said, I am the better of the two. And she was younger. She was a young girl. She didn't know any better. Didn't understand the cruelty of taking another woman's child. She did not understand that. So how did your mother feel about the whole thing? So in that lifetime, again, was such a young age that didn't really recognize the shadiness of it all, didn't really understand how cruel that was. But as that child got older, understood, and then his heart was broken because it was too late. By the time he understood what had been done, the damage that had been done, because he always had an affection for that woman. You guys stayed in the same town. And then when you passed on to the next lifetime, that was kind of when he realized like how cruel, like what had been done. So how does this affect yours and your mother's relationship now? Oh, that's good. Okay. So the healing is done. So, if the realization in the last lifetime on your mother's part of like how awful that was, the amends are on her part, that she is making those amends and she's making those corrections to heal her heart, your heart. That's why she's the mom and you're the child, so that she can take care of you this time and comfort you and make you feel nice. So this is really great. And the relationship is working very nicely with all of that input from the last lifetime. So, happy ending. We got a happy ending there. Happy ending. Stop, Raven. Raven's like, I don't want to hear any happy endings. That's our dog. I don't know if you can hear her. So, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can get to some more. Everybody's enjoying this. Rule the roost. Rule the roast. Hey, Melanie, how are you? All right. Give me a second. I just want to grab some of this. I'm going to grab a little water too. I'm pulling from the center of the deck. Hang on. Here we go. Transportation. That's annoying. That transportation card is annoying. Trees. That's not helping me. The trees is an apple orchard. There's something about an apple orchard here. And the male female, I think it's switched. I think this time you're the female, he's the male. I think you switched from the last time. And you would meet under this tree. So this apple orchard, you would meet under this tree and you'd have like a cute little picnic there. you know, that was yeah, absolutely. This is a lifetime before. And it, I don't know if it feels like North America. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Greg, I'm not sure.
Not sure. Not fair.
It's not fair. Let's tell this romance. Tell this romance of these youngsters under an apple tree. And it's a cute little picnic, like picnic basket. This was a cut short relationship between the two of you in the last lifetime. There was someone who did not want you to be together. So let's take a look at who that is. There was someone who wanted to rain on your parade. Oh, okay. So I think it's both of your parents, or no, mother and father of one of you was very much opposed to this relationship. Greg, I think she needs to go out, and I think Angus just let the cats out. I think Raven needs to go out, and Angus just let the cats out. Yes, stopping Romeo and Juliet, because they had a page of pentacles picked out for you, or picked out for one of you. There was an intended for one of you. You two were forbidden to be together, because there was already somebody picked out for one of you. The parents picked out this person, and they were very distressed about the relationship because they wanted to, you know, it doesn't feel like both parties were not of the same social class, but there was almost like a social clique that they weren't a part of. They were in opposing social cliques. So that was why. And it was the father was the most vocal about this, and very insulting about it. It feels like the boy's parents had a spouse picked out, and the father was very insulting about the girl, about how she was not good enough, she would not produce well enough, she was not from a good family, and it just was very insulting about that. And ruled the roost, raged, immortal, was not going to allow any of this to happen. Didn't care whose heart was broken, didn't care who was affected by this, did not care one iota. Was just, this is my law, and I will make this happen. Now, this is a more modern lifetime. Like I want to say 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, kind of in that area. Hang on one second. If you need to put them up, just put them up. Thank you, honey. Oh, did we run? Did we run? We talked about running away together. Thank you, my dear. In our next lifetime, I'll let the dog out all the time.
That's supposed to be this life.
Huh?
It's supposed to be this life.
It is this lifetime. I usually let her out. I can't stop my live. So we talked about running, and this was the way that you guys did run away. You did. Oh, that's so delightful. So what are the repercussions from this? Holy smoly. Life was hard, but your integrity was intact. So the young man here was the one who said, "No, we're doing this. You are the one that I want. You're the one that I want. Ooh, 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 honey, the one that I want." And he said we can make our own way. Now, it was a difficult and rough start. He went from living more or less in the lap of luxury, like not super luxurious, but a merchant life, a mercantile merchant kind of life, not a grubby ground worker or something, not ditch digger. So he had to make his own way. He didn't have those connections with his father. He left with nothing. God bless him. Well, that's you. I'm sorry, Amina, or Melanie. It was you. You left with nothing. But you all just went off, started a whole new life together. You did get married. And then there was some sussing out that we saw. There was a level of forgiveness that was given to the parents later in life. I don't think you reached out and extended that to them, but there was a level of forgiveness that was given. So, you overcame the emperor, and the Hierophant and everybody else that's in there. You overcame the powers that be, and you guys ran in the face of true love. So very, very sweet. But let's see. Did she have to go? Thank you. Like, now you can take a nap. I had to pee that whole time. So why is this significant in this lifetime? You guys walked through fire for each other. You gave it all up. You were like Harry and Meghan. You gave it up. No, you weren't like Harry and Meghan. It's like the worst thing I could say, right? It was a much easier lifetime this time. You didn't have to deal with that emperor calling the shots for you. So you've been able to kind of write your own story this time. So I do believe that you were together. I do believe that you were asked not to be together. And as a result, this lifetime's been a little bit easier for both of you. So good for you. Good for you. That's great. Greg, we got to do this. We'll do past life tonight, meditation, and find out what we were together before. You want to do that? Or are we just going to watch The Godfather? Full disclosure, I have to admit something. I have never seen The Godfather. I'm half Italian. I've never seen The Godfather. I don't know if I have to hand in my genetics because of that, but we may be watching The Godfather tonight. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Oh, thank you, wife of a grumpy old man with your pow, pow, pow. So TD, I've got, it sounds like your oldest son now. I had him at 19. Your parents loved him. Sounds like your ex. He's now an architect in marriage. Married. So, hello, Jeanette. I think Shelly's on. Goodbye, troll. Thanks, Shelly. Workout with weights. So yeah, I am working out with kettlebells. So it's I'm gonna be nice and ripped out. So Jeanette, you can get a card. I give you one card. I give you 2 cards. I give you 3 cards. I usually give out 3. So if you're so inclined, please send me a little something in one of my cash apps.
I would greatly appreciate it. We've got indoor band season coming up, and it's going to be super expensive. It's going to be my mantra. Band season's coming up. I need to magnetize money to me for band season. All right, Jeanette. So here we go. You ready? Yes, I've never seen The Godfather. Everyone's like, oh, never saw The Godfather. I know it's terrible, isn't it? So I know the music from it. So Jeanette, we have a dude that's coming to you with gifts and sweetness of a sweet tongue. He's going to come to you. He's going to be whispering sweet nothings in your ear, but he's going to be hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. He's not exactly where you want to lay your hat, but there is a future with him. He's got to do some growing up. In the meantime, happy is the home that we have. So you are the Empress in your own castle right now. So enjoy this time by yourself, if you are by yourself, or the time that you have by yourself. And really invest in strengthening what you are. It's really what you should be doing. You don't have to be partnering up with someone else. You can see things from other people's perspectives, but I don't want to say like you don't have a backbone, but absolutely like kind of grow more of a backbone now. So, develop more of that. That's going to be some good advice for you. So, welcome to the club, Jeanette. I hope you're having a good day. All these people hanging out at Fortune Cookies on a, what is it, Tuesday night? So we're scrolling through. So, oh yeah, the Fitness Hutch, he's doing a program. He's doing semi-private coaching. So he's got a small group. There's a Discord. He's giving us goals. He's giving us all kinds of cool stuff to do. We're getting our own workouts. It's fantastic. Prima. Strange that I was running away because of my current life. I've been involved in singing in temple. Oh, really? That's so cool. Wow, that's neat. Carried over. Raven says hi. Debbie's dogs barked when Raven barked. Sorry. Yes. So Lucrezia. So you and him past life. Okay, you gave me dates. Look at that. 1985, 1997. Holy crow. China. Unrequited love. Vata. Vows. Wars and battles. So pull out some Lenormand. Oh yeah, there's okay. The two of you, I see you being pulled away. Your hands are outstretched and you're being pulled away from each other. And it wasn't anyone directing this. It was this wars and battles. There was chaos going on, and that's why you were pulled apart. Ah, yes. So the male component of this was taken off to war very young, and the female component stayed in place. So he was sent out for I don't know if you guys switched roles this time. Very blurry kind of you and him. So did he make it back from war? Did he get back? No, no, he did not come back. So this unrequited love, he did not come back from battle. So why is this important to know in this lifetime? So in this lifetime, because of this situation, what's going to happen is you have this residual fear of abandonment. So we get the female component has a fear of abandonment, and the male component has a fear of connection, because he knows he had to leave at one point and does not want to hurt the female component in this lifetime. He wants her to stand strong. So that's why it's important to know. So like, and we wind up with these weird little quirks about us in relationships. I mean, one of my good friends, I did a past life reading for her, and the guy that she was dating, at one point she was on a fishing boat, went out to sea, and didn't come back. And so there was this weird, fear of the unknown when the other party was not around. Like, where are they? Are they coming back? Are we going to break up? Are we staying together? It was a very, irrational fear. But that, we uncovered what it was. So, hopefully that works itself out. So I hope you enjoyed that. Lucrezia, I love your name. And Laura, so much fun. Sarah. Hi, Sarah, honey bunny. So I guess we're going to step away from the past life stuff, and let's just pull some straight up tarot for you. So, all right. So Jeffrey. Oh, his feet never touch the ground, sweetie pie. And he's got a lot of pressure from a lot of the adult elements in his life. So I don't know how old you are, but this is a guy that he's got a lot of people, like parents, possibly employers, that are really pressuring him to be better than he is, to really focus on his career advancement, school, whatever, degrees, whatever he's doing. There are a lot of people that are putting pressure on him. He is having trouble compartmentalizing and balancing those different buckets of life. So, I have a thing called a bucket reading that I do, and it's like your friends, your social life, your family, your relationship, your work life. And he's having a lot of trouble balancing it. And the unfortunate thing is that the reason he's having so much trouble balancing is because they're pestering him too much about it. They're putting way too much pressure on him to thrive and succeed and do all these things. So, it's almost like he's like, oh God, I wish I could go back to a time where like no one was bugging me, where I could just like go in my room and play video games or with my Legos. And like you, Greg. I love you, honey. So he's just having a lot of trouble turning down the volume on the noise. Like, he's just got a lot of contributing voices in there. So how does he feel about you? There's a lot of chaos going on in there. And like, the voices that he's hearing, it's almost like he can't focus on you because of all of the voices that he's hearing. So there's so much pressure about his life that he's not living it, that he's not even experiencing it. He's just kind of wringing his hands, deflecting all of these conversations that his leadership and his adults are kind of giving him, the advice that they're throwing at him. So he really doesn't have the opportunity to sit down and really decide whether he wants to be in a relationship, because there's so many spotlights being thrown on different things in his life. If all that noise was cleared out, would he be getting along with you? Yes. He would it be a forever thing? I don't know. I think he's one of those people that he's gonna get into like second gear. Not full throttle on the highway, cruising along on cruise control. I think he's not at a point where like this is so serious. Like all the conversations that they're having with him are so serious that he doesn't want to envision having like a serious relationship and like planning a wedding and whatnot. So he's just kind of taking it easy. The way to his heart is to do fun things and not put pressure on him. So like mini golf, pickleball, just go, surfing or something. Nothing that's like, hey, I want to get married and have kids. My clock is ticking. Nothing like that. Nothing that's going to lead to a conversation about permanence and what the future is going to be. He does not want to talk about his future with one more person. So if you can get him to live in the moment and do things that are a little bit silly, go get a plate of cheese fries and just kind of watch the meteor shower. I think he's going to be very appreciative of that. Very sweet. It's going to take a little while to build that bridge to his heart, but making him feel like a kid and not all the pressure of this adulthood is really good for him. Ooh, you know what would be fun? If you guys are like in this kind of a disposition, like go to a trampoline park. He would have a blast at a trampoline park. Like you could be like, hey, not a date, just like, why don't we go jump on trampolines for an hour? It'll be good exercise and it'll be really fun. And then we can go eat candy for an hour. That kind of stuff. He would be really down with that. He'd be really down with being a kid for a little bit. So, give that a shot. See, he's got a lot of voices in his ear. A lot of people telling him to, he's got to do this. I hope you like that. And you're, I think, what is your real name? Your real name's, wait, I can't remember what your name is. Sarah. That's it. I was like, oh, I got to scroll back and forth. So, scrolling through. And that makes sense. You'll be glad to know I've gotten over anxiety. Oh, that's good. I don't feel anxious. I know everything will be okay. Super cool. Foxy, my dear. Hello. I should do this as a regular thing. So yeah, we'll do this as a regular thing. Maybe we'll do it like once a month. Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate it. So we're thank you, TD. Thank you. Let's see. Foxy, you know what? You didn't ask for one, but I'm doing a past life on you. Here. Foxy's getting a past life. You know why you're getting a past life? Because you love those old cars. And I want to see what that's all about. I'll tell you a story. I don't care if you don't believe in past lives. I'm telling you a story. And immediately I'm getting Roman roads. I'm getting crazy Roman roads. So let's see. Wars and battles. Vows. imprisonment or slavery. I don't know if I believe that. And ships are still moving. Karmic relationship. So let's do this, Mr. Foxy. So you have always been a wheels and road guy. It's not just the old cars, the antique cars that you like. You have always been like a cart and wheel kind of guy. And this is the important lifetime with carts and wheels. And I'm absolutely getting these Roman roads, these beautifully constructed roads and these beautifully constructed carts that are going on them. You were forever trying to find, you were trying to build a better mousetrap, build a better road, a better cart way, a better way of transport. That was your thing. And you had risked it all for this. And you invested all of yourself, all of your money in this because you really felt like it was a great thing. You did appeal to, emperor or, king. If it's Roman, it's probably emperor. So, Foxy left. Oh, we can send it to him. Oh, I did a clip. So we can send it to him. So he definitely tried to appeal to the emperor and was shut down, but continued to do his work, was not super successful, moderately successful, but still it just wasn't bringing in the ducats that he needed it to. Or ducats? What was Roman money, Greg? I think Greg's got his headphones on. So yeah, I think that was a lifetime that was challenging to say the least. So Foxy left. All right, so let me see. All right, so we're scrolling through. So I don't think she was one of the Romanovs. That's not what I was getting. Yeah, definitely not getting that. So American trains, pretty wild. So Jana, I'm gonna scroll through. Oh, that's wild, wifey. That's wild. Thank you, TD, for helping out. Oh, Tina, I'm glad you liked it. Scrolling through. Everybody's making fun of me because I haven't seen The Godfather. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch The Godfather 3 times. So I think we're watching it tonight. So I'll have to do that too. I know. I just got to I never watched The Sopranos either. When The Sopranos came out, I was doing business. I think I had my kennel then. I didn't even have a TV. It was crazy. That's funny. Said his mom. Really? Stop it, Melanie. That's crazy. That is crazy. Moch, I will give you a couple of cards. So we've got what you want, what you need, what you get. So you want to be in supreme control of your intellect and in all arguments. So this is coming through very clearly, is that you want to be in control of all arguments. You want to have the upper hand. So what you need is to sometimes lay down the sword and walk away, because what you'll get from that is much more cooperation and sweetness in relationships. So that, you know, sometimes we got to pick our battles. This is a pick your battles kind of reading. So pick your battles there, sweetie pie, and make sure that you don't have a super sharp tongue. Sometimes that gets us into trouble. It gets me into trouble sometimes. So we're scrolling through. Melanie, you're very welcome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. So Alicia, I will give you what you need, what you want, what you get. And Moch and Alicia, if you guys want to give a contribution, you can do it on my Cash App. You can do it on I have Venmo and PayPal up there too. What you need, what you want, what you need, what you get. So what you want, what you need, what you get. So what you want is sanctity, preservation, peace and quiet. You want everybody to kind of chill out. But what you need to do is slow down your work, because that is where you'll get this peace and serenity. So sometimes you got to dial it back and just chill out. But unfortunately, what you get is you have to work a little bit. So this is definitely, you have to kind of learn the balance between, you know, overworking or working, you know, going bananas, and kind of calming down and letting work fill in the workspaces, and letting recreation time fill in some recreation time, because the work will fill the space. So if you create recreation space, you'll fill that up. So I hope you enjoyed that. Doodle-doodle-doo-doo. So you guys are talking about fake tans. So my girlfriend Kathy, she sells cosmetics. I'm going to do a show with her. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. And she's actually got a self tanner. She works for she has a proprietorship for Unique, and it's cruelty free. It doesn't have parabens. It's really great. It's the cosmetics I use. And they have a self tanner, and she's an Irish redhead. And when she uses this, she's not orange at all. It fades beautifully. It doesn't fade in that craziness. So you know, I'll definitely be doing a thing with her, and we can talk about the self tanner. I never use self tanner. I never use it. I just figure I'll go out in the sun eventually. So, hi, Sarah. Enjoy more changes. All right, so I'm scrolling through, guys. I'm scrolling through. I'm just making sure I hit everybody. Foxy's left. We can send it to him. Hi, Julie. So, hi, Penny. Penny, we'll have a Godfather watch party. Watch, I'll be up all night watching all of the Godfathers. And the time change, everybody's oh, it is Shellykins. Hey, Shellykins. So listen, guys, I think I am gonna wrap up for the night. I think I'm pretty burned out right now, but this was fun. I think the past life thing is gonna become a regular offering. You know, I did put a private reading for past life readings if you guys want a private past life reading too. So I will hopefully see some of you for private readings. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But I do those at the parties. Like I always have the one person whenever I do a party that's like, hey, you know, can we do past life reading? So you know, so everybody, Shelly is laid up right now. Our friend, she has a boo-boo. We were going to try and come by, Shelly, tomorrow. We're putting the roof on the formerly she shed. Now it's a he shed. Shelly, I'll call you tomorrow and I'll do a past life reading over Zoom for you.
We'll do it. I just realized I've been on for 3.5 hours. Holy crow. Wow, this was crazy. All right, so I'm going to call it a night. And for some reason, the time didn't change on my computer. So I think it's 7 o'clock, but it's 7 o'clock, but my computer says it's 8 o'clock. I don't know why I didn't get an automatic change. So, but I am going to jump off and I'm going to go watch The Godfather with my children. I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse. But I got to get up early in the morning. I got to work out and I got to go bananas. So this is my life. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your contributions. You guys are fantastic. I may do on Friday. I think this Friday we're free. So I may do another live just for regular tarot readings on Friday. I'm trying to do one live a week. I'm trying to limit it to one live a week, but I may do something special on Friday. So it is what it is. So thank you so much, guys. This is great. I had a great time. It's super fun. I'm glad everybody got some cool readings done. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.